event, and now it's been confirmed that Pro Wrestling Noah's Naomichi Marufuji will be in attendance at the show as a guest. Whilst it's not been explicitly stated what the creative plans are for the star, he did wrestle WWE talent AJ Styles this month, so there is a possibility that the Acclaim match is referenced in some capacity. The SummerSlam card looks to be taking shape, with Logan Paul vs LA Knight for the US title being added to the show this week, and the only match left that fans are eagerly waiting to be added to the show is a CM Punk vs Drew McIntyre match. As things stand, this match happening all depends on Punk's medical clearance. Whilst reports state that Punk is attempting to get cleared, nothing is guaranteed in pro wrestling, and WWE shouldn't hastily clear Punk for the sake of it. It's also been reported that Seth Rollins is the planned special guest referee for the anticipated matchup. This makes a ton of sense based on the recent booking at WWE TV, and it's probably the case that WWE have reinserted Rollins into the storyline just in case WWE needs to pivot for medical reasons away from Punk vs McIntyre. Next up is Nia Jax joining the Bloodline. But could it finally be time for the Bloodline to add a female member? Nia Jax has been somewhat rumored to join the faction in some capacity, and these rumors predominantly came from Jax herself, who delivered the Bloodline hand gesture on SmackDown this month. During an appearance on the Battleground podcast this week, Jax was outright asked if she has plans to join the faction, and she had a rather interesting answer. You know, I think, well, obviously, it's always a thing, right? Because right now, I am the female Samoan bloodline in the business. I feel as though, and then we have Tamina, and then we have, Married and Trinity, or Naomi, Naomi. There is that option. Jax continued by saying, I also feel as though the men are doing such a great job and they're doing their own thing. And I feel as if they wanted us to have our own thing. They want us to go in our direction and thrive in what we can do. I've said it before, even though we're not on screen, behind the scenes, the boys are constantly supporting us. They're constantly having our backs. And if they're not there in person, they're texting me, watching my matches, giving me critiques and helping me out. So if ever down the line they need some women to get in there and kick some butt, I'm more than happy to. Jax is set for one of the biggest matches of her career in 13 days, as she will challenge Bayley at the SummerSlam PLE for the WWE Women's title. Should Nia Jax join the Bloodline? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, could WWE bring back a classic title? During the Road to the Money in the Bank PLE, Chelsea Green caused controversy by stating that she wants to bring back the Divas title. The Divas title represented a time where the women in WWE were treated like an afterthought, and a lot of WWE fans questioned why on earth Green would want this. Ultimately, this was a case of Green being 100% in character and just pushing for a reaction, and Green explained during an interview with Ring the Bella, well, first of all, because that's the thing. It's a controversial take and everybody's talking, and I think that what people don't understand is when you tweet about me, you're doing me a favor. You're making me go viral, so that's what's happening. It's unlikely that WWE would ever bring their title back, mainly due to the negative connotations the title had. However, if Green ever wins the women's title on the main roster, which does seem likely at one stage, the title returning for a brief period just so Green can get some extra heat wouldn't exactly ruin the women's division. Would you guys be interested in seeing the WWE Divas title come back? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a shocking name wins the TNA World title. The TNA have a new world champion, and his name is Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler. Nemeth won a 6-way elimination match in the main event of last night's Slammiversary pay-per-view. This came as somewhat of an upset, as fans expected the incredibly popular Joe Hendry to come out of the pay-per-view with the title. The newly crowned world champion would cut a promo on TNA's digital channels, and this is what he had to say. I forced my hand because I've been on TV before and tonight with 5 other badass superstars in that ring. I somehow came out on top. Any other night you flip that coin, someone else wins. Tonight was my night. You know why? Because after 20 long years of digging and scratching, sometimes that timing that everyone talks about, that timing is the best thing that could ever happen to you. And all of a sudden, TNA on its way to the top just keeps getting better. Massive congratulations to Nick Nemeth on his huge win. Next up, WWE legend undergoes life-altering surgery. A pro wrestling legend Big Show has undergone major surgery. Taking to his Instagram page, the former WWE champion revealed that he had both his knees and both his hips replaced. Whilst this is indeed a significant and life-altering surgery, Big Show is doing well, and he's already back to working out. Today was a great day, grateful, both knees, both hips replaced, no pain, well other than the hard work to get back into shape. That's not egg-shaped. It's unknown if Show has officially retired, as he wrestled back in January when he competed on the Jericho Cruise. Whatever the case, we wish Show a speedy recovery. Next up, a released WWE star's shocking revelation. Whenever a wrestler leaves WWE, it's not uncommon for them to reveal behind-the-scenes secrets regarding their run in the company. Former WWE champion Jinder Mahal, who recently became available on the free agent market, appeared on Chris Van Vliet this week, and in a stunning revelation, Mahal revealed that he was informed directly by WWE that they wanted him to transition into becoming a manager. I was pitching all kinds of storylines and 6-man tags or matches myself where Indus is managing me. Nothing was happening. I asked the writer, what's the deal? I also know this because I saw the roster sheet. Male heels on Raw, SmackDown male heels, tag teams. I wasn't listed under male heels. There were male heel tag teams in Dushare, and I was in brackets as a manager role. I wasn't even listed as an active talent. I asked the writer, was it discussed that I'm not in wrestling anymore? Yeah, it was brought up that you're just going to manage Indus. Then I had the match with Seth Rollins. Luckily, I was in shape already, and I stayed in shape. And based on these comments from Mahal, it's hardly a surprise that WWE cut ties with him. With that being said, randomly transitioning a former WWE champion into a managerial role overnight is an odd move, and there must have been some kind of logical explanation behind that specific decision. Next up, Mark Henry's son wrestling. The Hall of Pain could be about to reopen as Mark Henry's son has interest in entering the pro wrestling industry. Henry spoke to TMZ recently, and this is what the Hall of Famer had to say regarding his son's aspirations of becoming a pro wrestler. His true passion is pro wrestling. He's not trying to be an Olympic champion in wrestling. He said, I don't want to go to the Pro Bowl or win a Super Bowl. I want to main event WrestleMania and go to Japan and be a champion. I'm like, bro, these are hefty goals. But I tell you what, if your goals don't scare you, then you're playing it safe. You're not going to make it unless you have high dreams. Best of luck to Henry's son in his pro wrestling journey. And finally, an iconic team returning to WWE. Our final story today takes a look at the possibility of an extremely iconic tag team potentially returning to WWE. Since leaving AEW, Matt Hardy hasn't exactly ruled out returning to WWE in some capacity. In fact, Hardy has teased a return on more than one occasion. Now, the legendary duo known as the Hardy Boyz appeared on WrestleBinge, and Matt Hardy shockingly revealed that they aren't just interested in another WWE run, they could be potentially coming for the gold. In wrestling, never say never. I will say that the NXT tag team titles are not on our list of titles that we've won, so we're interested in that. The crossover between TNA and NXT is great. It's exciting, it's unpredictable. That's a positive for the business and industry. Our former WWE champion Jeff Hardy then chimed in by saying, I'm a fan of first time evers, and in us in NXT, just the vision of that is very exciting to me. At one point in time, 2 TNA talents talked about having another run in WWE while still with TNA would be unfathomable. However, with the current working arrangements between the two respective companies, the possibility of the duo showing up in WWE is more likely than ever. One possibility when it comes to the Hardys is that they make a few cameos on TV and then potentially have a run as NXT Tag Team Champions. Fans have been pushing the idea of seeing both men enter the WWE Hall of Fame, and realistically this could be achieved whilst the two still deliver their commitments to TNA. Would you guys be interested in seeing the Hardy Boyz in WWE again? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.